I don't think you can sit here and go Cristiano's the best of all time. I look back now and think if there's one thing that I think about my career I wish I'd done differently, I would have gone to Real Madrid or Barcelona.
It's embarrassing that you celebrate. I would be a meme now. But this is what, I don't understand why you're there then, because you should be here then.
That's it there, that's your click there. Yes guys, I'm RIO Ferdinand.
And I'm Anton Ferdinand.
And this is Rising Ballers YouTube channel.
Two brothers, one sport and plenty of opinions. Do these Premier League legends actually agree that Ronaldo is the true GOAT? Was the game really tougher back in their day? Or is that just nostalgia talking? Here's how it works. We read a statement, and if they agree, they step to the viewer's left, and if they don't, they step to the viewer's right. Simple, visual, no filter. This isn't just football talk, it's family, it's legacy, it's straight up debate. You're watching Do Anton and RIO Ferdinand Think the Same? And make sure you hit that subscribe button to catch more content like this right here on Rising Ballers. Statement 1. I believe I reached my full potential as a player. Happy with where we stood? Okay, blindfolds can come on. We'll start with RIO. You're just on agree.
Yeah.
How come only agree?
Because I think the first few years, up to from West Ham and Leeds, I probably enjoyed the nightlife too much. And I think if I'd maybe done less of that, I might have got a bit more out of my career and more longevity. Yeah, probably that.
Nice. Anton?
I don't think for the potential that I had when I first came into the first team, I strongly disagree, because the big thing for me was because I was so much in Rio's shadow, and everywhere I went I was Rio's brother. I was never Anton, I was Rio's brother, and then all of a sudden after my first year in the Premier League I became Anton, and when that happened it was such a big relief for me, because I'd had it since I was like 9 years old when I first signed for West Ham. It was such a big relief for me. I almost relaxed. You know, and whereas in that first year, it didn't matter whether I was playing against the big teams or little teams, I was at a level which was really, really high. And because I relaxed, it made my level come down to where it shouldn't have been, and that's why I didn't reach my full potential, I would say.
I hear that.
Wait.
So you meant strongly disagree?
This is meant to be agree and disagree, no?
Oh,
Yeah.
agree, okay.
You're on the good side.
Oh, allow me.
But that's fine, we got the answer.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's what matters.
All right.
Sorry. Agree, disagree, yeah?
Agree, disagree.
Left is right, that's disagree.
Disagree.
Right,
Disagree, agree.
do you want to put your blindfolds back on, please?
If I could change one decision in my football career, I would. So to your right if you agree, and your left if you disagree. 2 or 4 steps.
Hold on.
All right, wicked. Blindfolds off.
I would have gone to Real Madrid or Barcelona when they came. If I'd have did my career, if I'd have changed that decision, I declined even having the conversation. But I look back now and think if there's one thing that I think about my career I wish I'd done differently, just had a go at going abroad and see what it was like.
Was that whilst you were at United?
That's the problem. I was at United and I was winning, and it was just difficult to leave.
What about you, Anton?
Me, I wouldn't have left West Ham at the time that I did. You know, there's one thing that always sticks out with me now since retiring, and Mark Noble was still playing. And when we first moved to Olympic Stadium, I went to go and watch a game there. The first game I ever went to go there and watch. I messaged Noble and said, I'm here at the game, like, it'd be good to see you. And he said, oh, where are you? He went, I'll get someone to get you and bring you down to the lounge. So I came into, he had his own lounge, the captain's lounge, and I walked in, and the first thing he said, he went, this could have been yours, bruv, if you would have stayed. And it always stuck with me, that if I didn't leave, it probably would have been. I don't regret going to Sunderland, by the way. I don't regret it. I don't regret anything in my career. But if there's one thing that I would have changed, it wouldn't have been leaving.
100%. What do you guys kind of think of where the other has stood on this?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Anton. I think Anton, it would have been nice if he'd stayed at West Ham, because I think it's like that was I think he felt most at home in his career there, from the outside looking in.
All right, the next statement. Being a defender is the most underappreciated role on the pitch.
I know he's behind me now.
I think strikers are selfish. They don't appreciate, the attacking players don't appreciate that getting a clean sheet is as important as scoring a goal, you know? And I used to argue a lot with my strikers. Marlon Harewood in particular, who was my roommate, used to argue with him. If he weren't holding the ball up properly, giving me a breather, you know, and all he cared about was like, you do your job, which was great, because he had to do his job as well, but most of my arguments came with attacking players because I felt like I didn't appreciate the fact that you needed to keep clean sheets to win games.
Yeah, without defenders, you don't win. Without forwards, you don't win. So you've got to appreciate and respect all of us. But the forwards are all about themselves, all about scoring goals. If they don't, I played with forwards that if we won 3-0 and they didn't score, they didn't celebrate. Mad. Defenders don't think like that.
Modern football is too focused on stats and not enough on character. Left is disagree, right is agree. All right, masks off. Got consensus again.
100%. Yeah, the game's like it's gone stat driven now. It's gone like the American sports like NBA and NFL. They can be stat driven because they are very much set piece games. They're stop start all the time, so everything's a set play. Whereas football isn't like that. Football's about rhythm, momentum, personality, people just working stuff out. And I think now it's become very systematic, and it's become very much where the coaches are really trying to find solutions for every eventuality within a game before it happens, rather than saying to the player, you work it out. And that element of you work it out brought spontaneous behaviours, brought maverick moments, people having to think outside the box, which brought enjoyment and entertainment. That I think has been sacrificed for that systematic type of football recently.
Do you think that is kind of on the way out again?
Yeah, I think it'll be cycles though. I think the game of football is very much about cycles, and I think we've been in that systematic period for a while. I think we're going to start evolving to more about individuals and that maverick player being able to come out and be himself and play a game and find a way to win a game rather than the system winning the game.
What about you, Anton?
I think for me personally, the eye test was one of the best tests that you can have. You know, the stats I think are great to, like when you're going to buy a player, their stats are great and stuff. The way Brighton do it is fantastic, all stat based. But you have to have an element of the eye test as well, you know, because stats don't measure your personality, your drive, and the way that you are as a person. The eye test does that, and how you are on the pitch. And I think for me, I was lucky that towards the end of my career, it started to become stat based, and coaching was more textbook based. And I found it very, very difficult, and I found it boring. Whereas like coaches like Kevin Keane, who I had at West Ham, he would put the session on, give you the session, give you some of it, but you have to work bits out of it as you go on, which made it challenging every single day. And I think that creates and breeds an imagination. You know, you find a solution yourself, that brings out an imagination. Like if you ask me to do a skill here, I probably would struggle to do one. But if you put me in a situation that I had to get out of, it will just come out and I'll get out of the situation. And that was based on just, that was based on like just being free and my mind doing what it thinks it needs to do and able to do it. And I think we don't see that as much anymore.
This is a debate that's been kind of done to death, but I have to ask you. VAR has improved the game. Just for the record, right is agree and left is disagree.
Oh, it's improved the game, did you say?
Yeah.
My
So
gosh.
if you disagree, stand on your left. Blindfolds off. I feel like if Rio could have stood over there.
Yeah,
he
I'd have been
would've
out of the stadium right now.
I didn't step far enough for me.
Huh?
I didn't step far enough.
Yeah, VAR, man. Just the fact that it takes too long. Just that point alone, you should just get rid of it or find people that can actually work it properly. How many times we see an incident and everyone at home or in the stadium is going, there it is, after 1 or 2 replays, and then we're taking 4, 5, 6 minutes. It's crazy. It's actually scandalous. So I'd get rid of it. It's ruining the entertainment. People aren't even celebrating goals now because they're scared of VAR. Part of the game and why I used to love football was to see celebrations. And now they're not even been able to do that.
Imagine Righty now.
Dead, gone in the game, out of the game. He ain't Righty again. He ain't the same Ian Wright. You can't celebrate.
I think for me, the thing that I hate is like you say, it takes away the excitement. You know, your first reaction is always the best one. You know, when you do something good or when you score, it's always the best reaction. And that's come out of the game. And being a fan now and watching a game from the stand, if I was playing, I wouldn't celebrate. I wouldn't want to do it because it's embarrassing that you celebrated. It happened to me once when I played for Sunderland, and VAR weren't even involved, and it embarrassed me. I scored a goal, went off. Kieran Richardson jumped on my back. He said, "Anton, do the Michael Jackson dance. Do the Michael Jackson dance." I'd done it. Turned around, and Hal Webb was going no goal because it was a foul, and he could have blown up and shouted, "No, that's a foul, no goal." He didn't. He allowed me to do the celebration, and I was embarrassed, really, really embarrassed. So that happens a lot now.
Yeah, nobody wants to be a meme, right?
Exactly.
No, exactly.
I would be a meme now.
The statement is, Cristiano Ronaldo is the best player of all time. To your right if you agree, left if you disagree. Blindfolds off. So is this neutral?
This is neutral. This is like he's one of the best of ever. I don't think you can sit here and go Cristiano's the best of all time, like for me. But I would say that he's one of 2. Him and Messi, I think, are the best players of all time. If you package everything up, impact, goals, what they've done for the sport, how they've took it forward, the set new levels, the consistency is just ridiculous, and longevity. All of those things factored in, I think him and Messi have to be considered the best. And I think then it's up to whoever you like, whatever you like. If you like Messi, if you like Cristiano, that's how I see it.
Just enjoying both, as the man once said. What about you, Anton?
For me, why I agree is because in the era that I've grown up watching and playing in, I'd say for me he is the best. And my reasons for that is because I know how hard it is to become a footballer and stay at the top. And he wasn't Cristiano Ronaldo that we've seen in the Real Madrid shirt when he first came to Man United, or the later stage of Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo. He was nowhere near that, but he resourced and worked as hard as possible to become who he is today, you know, and because I know how hard it is just to get there and then to go on again and continue to do it. We're the same age and he's still going. For me, is why he is, but in terms of the best ever, for me it's Maradona.
Centre-backs today have it easier than we did when we were playing. Left if you disagree, right if you agree.
Right, you've gone all the way over there, yeah?
I've gone all the way.
Do you know what? I think it's two-pronged. I think it's with the ball, defenders are asked to do much more than we ever was asked. We used to give it to the goalkeeper and run to the halfway line sometimes, most of the time. Whereas now they're starting all the attacks. They're actually they're the instigators of all the moves and the restarts. They have the most touches of the game, which in turn means there's a big influence on how the game and the flow of the game's going.
But this is what I don't understand why you're there then, because you should be here then.
No, I'm saying, but they're working harder. I agree. What was the question?
Centre-backs today have it easier than we did.
Yeah. What I'm saying is they what's it called? They have it. I'm in the middle because
I'm saying you should be up here because if you was playing now, you'd find it easier than every single one of them.
No, that's because my playing style though. But
that's
what I'm saying,
that's why I say
no,
you should be up here.
It's like so with the ball, they get asked to do so much more. Yeah. So it's that's difficult. That's hard. Like for me personally, I'd enjoy that. But there's a lot of players who will be going, like for my generation, going, they didn't even want the ball. They're toe punting it out of play, hitting the stands all the time, or toe punting it to someone, or giving it to someone who can play, which is fine. But on the other side of things, I think defensively, they have it easier because they're playing more time against one striker. And the depth of the quality of strikers, I think, in today's game isn't the same as what it was in the back when I was playing and when Anton was playing, because I was playing Chelsea and they had Anelka and Drogba sometimes. I was playing against Arsenal with Thierry Henry and Bergkamp. Do you know what I mean? I was playing against Liverpool with Michael Owen and Robbie Fowler, or Torres and Gerrard, or Suarez and Gerrard, or I was playing against even going Aston Villa, Emil Heskey and Darius Vassell, Dion Dublin as backup. Dion Dublin and Darren Huckabee up front for Coventry. Team getting relegated and stuff like that. The depth is very different. And Man United, you go into Old Trafford and I was playing against Cole and York first half, second half, Teddy Sheringham and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This ain't happening today. You've got one number 9, you've got 2 wingers who your fullbacks most of the time are marking, and you've got 2 centre-halves against a number 9. It's so defensively, I think it's a very different game, and I would say easier, but with the ball, their demands and asks of them are a lot harder than when I played.
I hear that makes sense. Anton, you feel a bit more strongly?
The reason why I've gone strongly is because of the points that Rio's just made there. I mean, when we played, I think, looking outside of the top 6, when you look outside of the top 6 now, or top 8, and you look at strikers, no disrespect to them, they're still good strikers, still good players, but when we played, going to Bolton and playing against Kevin Davies
and Djurkaev, World Cup winner,
or Okocha in the hole, you know?
Mate, where's Darren Bent today? In today's football, Darren Bent sometimes couldn't get in the England squad, not team, squad, yeah? Where's Darren Bent today? 100 Premier League goals, where is he sitting today? He's just behind Harry Kane for England right now. I'm telling you.
Like you go, I'd go to Everton.
Jermaine Defoe, where's he today?
Yep, you go Everton, you're playing against Yakubu and Cahill. You know, you come to West Ham.
With Fellaini as well.
You come to West Ham and you're playing against 2 of either Carlton Cole, Dean Ashton,
Bobby
Zamora, Carlos Tevez, Teddy Sheringham.
The depth is, it's not even about
Marlon
quality.
Harewood.
It's not even about quality, yeah, because you could argue who's better, Ollie Watkins or Darren Bent or whatever. It's the depth.
We never had,
We're
I don't
talking
think I
about
didn't have a hard
names.
game. I don't think I had an easy game.
I'm going White Hart Lane. After Dominic Solanke, who are you playing against? Let's have it right.
Richarlison.
Okay, Richarlison, he's decent, Richarlison, right? I'm going White Hart Lane. If it ain't Berbatov, it's Robbie Keane. If it ain't him, it's Van der Vaart. If it ain't him, it's
Defoe.
If it ain't him, it's Robbie Keane. If it ain't him, it's Darren Bent. Like, what are we talking about? There's no comparison in the eras. It's different. Even the cameraman's laughing. It's different.
Even the lawyer's laughing.
Yeah, the lawyer's over there, look, laughing in his red trousers. I love it. But it's not even. I'm not saying the quality, because I think there's a drop in quality as well. Yeah, overall. But I just feel the depth is the biggest thing. The pool of strikers back then, compared to here now today, and you could. Haaland's going to live in both eras. Do you know what I mean? Harry Kane would jump into both eras and be fine and be at the top somewhere. Yeah. But when you look for the next level, where's Yakubu in today's game in the Premier League? I'm telling you, like, where is he in the Premier League? He's in the top 4 or 5.
He's up there.
Easy.
He's up there.
Imagine Stoke, Kenwyn Jones,
Ricardo
Fuller,
John Waters,
Sidibe.
Remember? Hold on. Who's Newcastle's? And it weren't. Forget Shearer and Bellingham. Shearer and Bellamy.
Clivert.
Papa Cisse.
Clivert.
Oh.
Clivert. Who's the other brother? Demba Ba. This is what I'm saying, bro. This is mad. The depth of strikers is nuts.
Yeah.
Oh, Forlan couldn't even get a kick. Forlan could not get a kick in the Prem.
Bonkers.
Had to go to Villarreal and we win the European Golden Boot.
Mental.
European Gold Boot winner couldn't get a kick in the Prem. That's it there, that's your click there.
100%. The last statement is the Ferdinand Collective can make a bigger impact off the pitch than we did on it. Right if you agree. And further right if you strongly agree.
Yeah. Look, listen, we were very fortunate that, and through hard work, a bit of luck and timing, we made it as football players, but we know full well that most kids don't make it. Get told at 16, not for you this game, you're not good enough, you've got to find a new club. And those kids never had the support systems, didn't have either parents as support, different adults in their life as support, or a collective like we've got, a hub that could bring those young people in whose confidence is broken, egos are smashed. They're looking around and in their network where once were the big guys in their network, now their heads are between their shoulders, not having that confidence. We need to rebuild those young people, give them an opportunity to get back in the game, stay in the game, but also build them up as human beings to have transferable skills to not only stay in football if they want to, but also if they want to go outside of the sport into other areas, that them transferable skills that they learn here under our guidance, transferable to a different industry. So those things weren't about when I was kicking the ball as a young kid when I was 16 all them years ago, and our dad definitely wanted to put that in place. He's been on that journey with us and our kids now, his grandkids, and we want to make sure that they have that opportunity.
I think for us as a family, our dad, who has been on this journey for 30 plus years and is continuing it now through our kids and pouring into them the same way he poured into us, it was about the bigger picture and how can we continue to be community driven and make sure that our community is supported the way that we were supported. And I think that's what the collective is about, giving these young kids who ain't fortunate enough to become footballers a pathway. You know, we're about empowering the player and building the person. You know, and with that, you know, giving them pathways into other sectors, if it's other sectors that they want to get involved in, other place of work that they want to get into, or if they want to stay in football. You know, we've got the pathways for them through FC Rise, where they can hone their abilities and their talents to stay in football or go further afield and be a success and represent the collective.
It's crazy, yeah? One thing, it's not guaranteed, but there's a high probable chance, really high chance, that when you start out on a journey of trying to be a footballer, you're not going to make it. But it's took this long to get things like this set up consistently. There aren't enough of these around as it is. There are some that are doing it well, some that aren't doing it so well, but there's not been a real push for a platform like Ferdinand Collective that is supporting and harnessing young talent that drop out of the game when it's such a high probability that they're not going to stay in the game. So, as I said, this is something that is much needed and we're here for it.
100%. Well guys, two legends in the game, doing legendary stuff now as well off the pitch. Thank you for the time.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it. Thanks a lot, guys.